Good evening, everyone, and welcome to dtalks or Disruptive Talks for Literacy and Education. I'm your host, Mashood. Today, we are being joined by a guest from the most northernmost part of India. He is the Chief Education Officer of the district of Leh, which is in the region of Ladakh. And when we are talking about, stories of uh, transformation in education, in the most difficult areas are where the geography is difficult, which are more remote, where internet connection is different, and where the schools are also located in some of the remotest corners. So how is education being transformed in such remote regions? We are very honored to welcome the Chief Education Officer of Leh, Shri Chetan Dorje, who is going to speak on literacy mission against all odds, and how regions such as Leh are, you know, overcoming difficulties and challenges to give the best possible education to the children in the government schools. Uh, Welcome, Mr. Chetan Dorje, sir, and we are very much looking forward to your presentation to learn about how the education system in Leh is working and making a positive change in the life of students. Sir, the stage is yours, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. We can see your presentation, sir.
Okay. Good evening to you all. Sir, I'm Chetan Dorje, Chief Education Officer Leh. So I will speak on the status of education in Ladakh these days, especially Leh district. So first of all, you know that Ladakh is a newly created union territory. It consists of two districts, that's the district Leh and Kargil. You know that district Kargil is on the west of Leh, Ladakh, and district Leh is on the east of Ladakh. Leh is a border district. In the northwest, it touches with the Pakistan border, and in northeast with China border. It is surrounded by mountains called Karakoram Range, Zanskar Range, and Ladakh Range. It is connected by road with Manali and Srinagar. It is closed for more than 6 months in winter due to snowfall. One thing is that we are closed for 6 months in the winter, so we are connected with the other parts of India in winter by air. Now I will speak on the educational zones of Leh district. In Leh district, there are 6 educational zones. Number one, Leh zone. It is at the center. And the Nubra zone, it is in the north of Leh. You know that Nubra, it is in the north of Leh, so it is 120 kilometers from Leh district. Leh center, and we have to cross the Khardongla passes, which is about 18,380 feet from the sea level. So we have to cross that passes or La. We call La the crosses to reach Nubra Valley. And the next is Durbuk zone. The Durbuk zone is in the east with the China border, and you know it is 118 kilometers from Leh. So you know the Pangong, like the famous Pangong, you know that is in this zone, and it is with the China border. Next, the Numa zone, it is in the far east with China border. So it is about 200 kilometers from Leh. So it is one of the farthest region of the Leh district. Paru zone, it is in the southeast of Leh, and it is about more than 50 kilometers from Leh center. Khalsi zone, it is in the west of Leh, so it is about more than 90 kilometers from Leh. It located on the Leh Srinagar road. So in Leh, there are the educational zone distributed into 6 zones educationally. So in Leh, there are about 291 schools, and the enrolled students are 8,568. Now I'll speak on the Leh zone. In Leh zone, there are enrolled students are 2,989 students in 83 schools. The schools include from class primary, secondary, elementary, and higher secondary. In Numa zone, there are 691 students enrolled and in 43 schools. In Nugra zone, there are 2,259 enrolled students in 83 schools. In Khalsi zone, there are 1,540 enrolled students in 46 schools. In Karu zone, there are 437 students in 18 schools. And in the Durbuk zone, there are 651 students enrolled in 18 schools. So overall, there are 8,568 students enrolled in 291 schools in the Leh district. Next, the challenges being faced by the education system in Leh. First of all, the textbook prescribed by the J&K Board of School Education being followed by the government school in Leh are low quality, poorly illustrated, and the contents and the illustration are locally irrelevant. Lack of uniform academic session for J&K Board of School Education and the CBSE affiliated schools. Hence, the students migrating from CBSE to J&K Board of School Education or vice versa have to face great academic loss. Number 3, lack of qualified teachers, especially science and maths teachers. Number 4, lack of monitoring and supervision in the remote and far-flung areas. Now I want to focus on the last 2 points, lack of qualified teachers, especially in science and maths. One thing is that we have a lack of qualified science and math teachers. That is why our students at the higher level could not compete the national level or admission entrance to the admission to the these reputed institution like IIT and AIMS could not be competed due to lack of the science and maths qualified teachers. So we are demanding the government to make the capacity buildings of the teachers on the maths and science model. And lack of monitoring and supervision in the remote and far-flung areas. One thing is that our Ladakh is a scattered area, and the distance between one school and another school is about 10 kilometers, 20 kilometers, or some 30 kilometers. So it becomes difficult for the department to monitor and supervise all the schools from time to time. Next, SECMOL initiatives. SECMOL is an NGO run by voluntary organization under the guidance and leadership of Mr. Sonam Wangchuk. NGO initially took active part in education, conducting exposure to the head of the educational institution to Delhi, Dharamsala, Sikkim, Bhutan, and other parts of India. They also conducted exposure to all the newly elected councillors of Ladakh, Leh in 1994. Number 3, the formation of village education committee in each school, conducting exposure camp training program in South India, Rishi Valley, and other reputed institutions for the resource persons. They organize the residential trainings for village education committee members at the district level from time to time. They introduce the locally based social studies, environmental studies textbooks up to 5th class in Ladakh. Now they are taking the less active parts in the education in Ladakh. Previously, that about 10 years, they took active parts in the school education department activities. Now their vision is high. They are now looking for the higher studies like establishment of university at Ladakh. The Rebali Talim initiative by the Leh government. Initially, the scheme of Rebali Talim scheme was conceptualized and implemented by the erstwhile Jammu and Kashmir government. The sole aim of implementing Rebali Talim scheme was to provide the local teachers to remote and far-flung schools, thereby improving the teachers' regularity and punctuality in the remote schools. However, due to non-availability of the qualified teachers in the remote villages, the matriculate and the 10 plus 2 youths had to be engaged as RET teachers, thereby compromising with the quality of education. Now in Ladakh, almost all the schools are covered by this 300 at about more than 300 Rari talim teachers. Now they have been regulated as a general teachers, as a second grade and third grade teachers. Now they have covered almost all the schools of Leh district. Now, what are the measures being taken by the government, I mean the UT government, to evolve the quality education system in Leh? The UT government is conducting different trainings for all level of teachers and educational administrators are being organized at Diksha platform through online, offline mode to improve the capacity of the teaching personnel. NCERT books shall be introduced in the government schools from the academic session 2021-22 as a substitute to the prescribed textbook of J&K Board of School Education. All the government schools of the UT Ladakh shall be affiliated by CBSE from the academic session 2021-22. IT education, information technology education is being introduced in government schools by introducing ICT and CAL center in schools. Now government has established almost in all the higher secondary and high schools. And these days they are focusing on the middle schools to establish the ICT and CAL centers. Incentive in different shapes different scholarships are being sanctioned to the deserving students of economically weaker sections of the society. These scholarships are in the form of pre-matric scholarship, post-matric scholarship, and national means and merit come scholarships. Strengthening of infrastructures. The government is stressing for the strengthening of infrastructure. They are now looking for the drinking water are available in the schools, the toilet facilities are available in the schools, and the libraries are available in the schools, and the laboratories, materials and laboratories are available in the schools, the boundary walls and the additional colors room, whatever the schools needs, they are looking for it and they are stressing for it and they are planning for this in a large manner. Mobile science lab for Changthang region. You know that Changthang region is one of the farthest and the coldest region in Ladakh, and the government has sanctioned under the Changthang development package 2 mobile science lab for the student of Changthang region this year. There are around 24 hostels, both KGBV and residential hostel has been regularized in Leh. Now, you know that before the formation of UT government, there were 13 residential hostels in Ladakh and 4 KGBVs, the Kasturba Gandhi Balika Vidyalaya hostel in Leh. And with the formation of the UT government, 13 of the residential schools have been regularized as a pattern of the KGBV. Now the students are getting all the facilities of the KGBVs to the student of these hostels. And this year also the government has approved or given sanction to the 6 residential hostel more to the students of far-flung areas. And they will also get the facilities, whatever their facilities giving are getting the KGBVs, and they will get in future. And 24 hostels in the far-flung areas of Nubra and this Changthang, Khalsi, and all zones of this Ladakh will be available. So this is a great step by the UT government. Solar patio house in all schools. The government is contemplating to establish a solar patio house in all schools to run the schools in the winters also. Under Samagra Shiksha and the Changthang package, the government is going to provide winter uniforms to all the students of Leh districts. Now I will speak on the community classes. During the COVID pandemic closed down, the Department of Education asked the village community members or village people, for example, panchayat, panch, sarpanch, and these council members to run the schools as the schools are closed. So about 102 schools and 1,480 students were benefited from the community classes. In some villages, students who are pursuing higher studies in Delhi, Jammu, and Chandigarh, due to close down, they came to their own villages and form a group and use their time for teaching the young students. In some villages, people organize community class by engaging their own volunteer students. Where there is non-availability of teachers, the teacher of that particular village, mostly the government teachers, engage to teach the student during the community, this COVID pandemic period. So, how we faced during this pandemic period, how we faced this period. So, in the March of 2020, after opening the schools, after 7 days, the government issued order that from 23rd March, our school will be closed down due to pandemic. So first of all, the department, the school, this chief education office and the zonal office, education officers all approached the radio station for the time slot for broadcasting the lesson to be lesson on radio by the teacher residing nearest to the radio station, and he will deliver lessons through radio from classes 9 to 12. Mostly, this includes mostly the subject, this in general English, social studies, and the local language. So we got the 2 hours, 2 hours time from the this Doordarshan Prasar Bharati, and we use these 2 hours for broadcasting lesson to the students. Next, with the success of radio program, we approached the Doordarshan, the DD Kashir, for telecast of the lesson and got an hour for telecast. Mostly we use the time for mathematics and science classes from classes 9 to 12. The zone where internet facility is not available, the teachers, principal opened a WhatsApp group by subject teachers and shared lesson through message voice and online test voice message and online tests were conducted. For the mathematics and science subject, video clips were shared. Most of the teachers use the telephone and teach the students through telephonically. In those areas where telephone is not available, the teacher recorded the lesson on the pen drives and were sent to the students. In those areas where accessible is not possible, we identified the areas and deputed the group of teachers of all subjects and give home tuition, lesson or tuition. These areas are nomadic areas of Changthang. The people, they move from one place to another with their cattle. The areas of Siachen base camp, the Turtuk Valley touching the Pakistan border, and Singalalok, the areas in Khalse zone, which remains cut off from the Leh for 6 months due to snowfall. At least once in a month to these areas, along with some notebooks to the students, some pencils, some pens, and fruits for the students, for area of the students. Next. Challenges faced by the teachers and students on teaching learning process during the COVID pandemic. First of all, we face the problem of internet connectivity because more the distance areas, the far-flung areas, we don't have the internet facilities, so it's very difficult for the teachers to teach them through online and offline. Lack of physical interaction, the lack of physical interaction between the teacher and the students in virtual teaching. Teacher thereby lack of feeling of natural bonding between guru and chela. Lack of internet connectivity in remote and border areas of the district. loss of emotional bonding, love, and care, compassionate attitude between teacher and the students. Due to limitation to use the teaching aids in the virtual teaching, conceptualization of scientific and mathematic terms in the student is difficult task before the teachers. Individual attention, remedial teaching to the below average learners is also a challenge before the teachers in virtual teaching. The COVID situation in Leh kept on escalating from time to time. The situation compelled the district administration to close the schools. Till now, only schools for 9 to 12 are. Now I will talk about the young country. Keeping in view these problems, the UT government decided to distribute the tablets to the students of the Ladakh region, Leh and Kargil. Thus, this tablet has been very useful to the students. First of all, it is a precious gift to the students. It is very useful for students of far-flung areas as it is preloaded with different educational apps, giving students a new experience of learning. The students found it learning innovative as it is a new device for them. It helps students in preparing homework for extra studies and to replay the missed lectures. It is useful for children to prepare themselves for their upcoming classes. Two students found that the tablet is also useful for improving the English language. Now I will read out what the students feels about the benefits of tablets in their own words. The student says, the first of all, the tablet, there are many videos regarding their syllabus useful for them during the lockdown period. They say, we use dictionary from tablets, which saves our time. Most of the students, it is impossible to get mobile for attending the online class. It becomes very easy because of the tablets. They say some students get very benefit as they get their books on tablets freely. In tablets, there are many science PDF which helps us in understanding the science concept. They say there is an app in tablets known as Merriam website which helps in understanding the difficult words of the English language. The students say we can easily study through the tablet at home. And they say it is also useful for the teachers. Now, I will talk about the Nippon Bharat mission in Leh. Ministry of Education, Government of India has launched Nippon Bharat mission on July 5, 2021, which is a national initiative for proficiency in reading with understanding and numeracy. It ensures that every child in the country necessarily attains foundational literacy and numeracy FLN by the end of the grade 3rd or class 3rd. What action plan by the district admission or this district followed? First of all, under the Nippon Bharat missions, for the teachers, capacity building FLN courses are already started in UT Ladakh. Explanation of the FLN courses to the teachers through webinar in local language. Translation of animation for children into local languages to be provided by the team Diksha. Arrangement to live discussion on FLN courses once the digital studio installation is done at Leh. Arrangement of physical training on toy-based learning with the use of waste material on the normalcy of COVID-19 situation. These activities are being carried out at Leh this time. So now it is the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shri Chetan Dorje ji, for this wonderful presentation. You've really covered in a very wonderful manner all the initiatives that are being taken by the Department of Education in Leh, and I think it is very wonderful how you have involved the community, deeply involved the community in the education sector as well. So we had some questions on your presentation. One was that you have talked about the village education committee.
Yeah,
So for village education committee, could you like to share as to how what is the role of the village education committee in the government school system? If you would like to share a bit more on that.
yeah, yes. One thing is that, sir, village education committee is taking active part in the school mostly, but during the pandemic or the COVID this situation, they get together and they help the teachers, and they also organize. The school is closed, so they think that we should make the students learning facilities. We should give the student learning facilities. So they organize their own levels at different places, somewhere in a community hall, in other places. They have invited some students who are studying in Delhi, Chandigarh, and they make a group and they teach the student during this lockdown period. Yes, sir. And uh, and there are 102 schools, in villages. They have organized the village committee, or including Panch, Sarpanch, and Council. They organize these activities. Yeah, and about 1,400 something student benefited this one. Mostly it's happened in the Parpalang areas. Yes.
Hmm. Right, sir.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir. It is very good to see the community getting together in helping, because it is the government and community have to work together in
Yeah,
this
yeah,
area, and it's truly inspiring to see this happening. The second point which you also mentioned was that with this new adoption of NCERT textbook and CBSE examination, board being taken up. So in that respect, what are some of the preparation that is being done with respect to smooth transition from the previous state board to the new NCRT and CBSE board?
yeah, yeah, sir.
Uh,
Now the government has already informed the students and the teachers, student teachers and the principal about this transition of from JNK Board of School Education to this CBSE board. Now we have asked the government to prepare us to give the teachers training about the courses of CBSE, the mostly the NCSE. So the CBSE is a vast this syllabus. So the government is thinking of giving the training to the teachers in science, math, in other subject, and whatever subject they are introducing in CBSE board. Yeah, they are planning to give training to the teachers. Yeah. Now first of all, now recently we got order that government. First of all, we are doing affiliation to the schools. So within a week, they are conducting the training to the principals and nodal officers. How do we affiliate this CBSE board? So after that, step by step, the government is giving the training to the teachers to how we go to this CBSE board. Yeah,
Okay, right, sir.
yeah, yeah.
Thank you for sharing your ideas on that. And you have also talked about you have the tablets initiative as well, and it is wonderful to see that digital learning is an important priority for your department, and even children who are in very far-flung areas also, they are being given the preloaded content in these apps. Would you like to share as to what has been the response of the students? What has been the response of the parents? Are they, for example, requiring any? What are some of the benefits they are getting, and are they, if they are feeling any challenges or some support, additional support, which is required for them to become comfortable in digital education?
One thing is that first of all, the most of the students don't have these mobile apps in their mobile smartphone, mobile in their hands, sir. So it is a new thing in their hands, sir. So they like it very much, sir. And after that, they get a lots of apps in these tablets and lots of lessons and topics from different teachers, expert teachers, and many more, sir. So they like it very much, sir. So they think that we should they wanted the more and more this lecture on the different topics should be given by experts and different modules and many more they want it in this tablet, sir. Yeah, they like it very much, sir.
Mm.
Now at
Right.
home, they have they have their tablets in their hand, do some homeworks, and they look for the whatever they could not understand. They look for, oh, I will see there and I will get it from different topics. Yeah. So in this way, the tablets benefited them, sir. Yeah.
That's wonderful to know, sir. And if we talk about how, for example, if content has to be updated on the
Yeah.
tablet, so is there any process where the new content can be uploaded? Are all tablets to be collected by the teacher? How does the process look like, sir?
About the contents, now the government is now the government UT government is given direction that new topics to be recorded from whatever topic not included. They are they the given the direction is given to us. The new which topic has not included. For example, the language and other some topics are not included. So direction given to us to make them record it and upload it into it and to look for the more these lessons or topic from other sites, sir. In future, step by step, they will do it, sir.
Right, sir.
Okay, sir.
Sir, thank you for sharing your thoughts. And one final question, which you would like, you have also covered the Nippon Bharat mission as well, the FLN mission, which is talking that by 2027 we will have complete literacy and numeracy skills up to by grade three. In this, you have talked about how the FLN courses, etc., will be accessible to teachers through webinar in the local language. It is very good to see this initiative being taken. So Ladakh also has many languages, right? Like in home, the language, the native language is different. Then if we look at school, in school we also have English medium of instruction, and also other optional languages like Hindi and Urdu as well. So in this context, how is the plan with respect to how we can help children pick up these new languages like English, Hindi from their existing tongue and regional language?
Yeah. Now the government, UT government, and the Ladakh Autonomous Hill Development Council, sir, they have given us the direction to form a committee to translate these the books up to fifth primary class, the fifth class from this LKG, UKG, and nursery, first, second, third, up to fifth class to translate into local languages, yeah, body language, yeah. Now we have formed a committee, and they are doing these activities. Now they have started doing these activities, yeah, to translate this into local language, yeah, subjects, yeah, both the maths, science, and other subjects, yeah. And they've also said that in the CBSE, these courses, the local content should be created to include it in it. Yeah. So we are preparing. We are doing these activities. This year. We have started. Yeah.
Right, sir. Sir, thank you once again for joining us today. We have really learned about this, wonderful initiative being taken by your government, and you've presented to us in such a beautiful manner about the initiatives being taken by the UT government and your department, and you're leading it from the front. It is inspiring to see that in such difficult geographical terrains, you are able to help children reach the best level of education in the government schools. And with this new mission also, Nippon Bharat mission, we wish you the very best and wish you, your department, the very best. And we are very, looking forward to again welcome you maybe 1 year later and see how the results of the mission are ongoing. So with that, we thank you once again, Chetan Dorje sir, for joining us today on dtalks.
Thank you, sir.